To mark their 33rd anniversary, Edo State government don unveil their comprehensive regional development plan and the Benin City Master Plan wey go cover from 2023 to 2053. The event wey dey shele for the Ministry of Physical Planning office for Sapele Road, Benin City start since August 19, 2024 and e go run till August 23, 2024. On August 20th, wey be the second day of the Master Plan viewing event, the focus na the technical details of the plan. The Honorable Commissioner for Physical Planning, Housing, Urban and Regional Development, Isoke Omo, for her address, come chook mouth on top the state's vision to turn Edo into modern state for other regions and come urge key holders like BEDC, TCN, Okomu, Azura, Petro, NMDPRA, NNPC, E&P Limited, Green Hill, Edo Refinery and local petrol gas station owners as well as mining companies to join hands to implement the master plan.
The contract was originally awarded in October 2021. In November 2021, we launched the Edo State Socio-Economic Development Plan, which is the plan that will take us to the Edo of our dreams. We say that we want Edo in 30 years to be the destination of choice for investment, living, and a place to thrive. But what does that mean? It just sounds so... What does it mean to the man on the street? If I go to Edo of my dream, what does it really mean? So we're saying, okay, fine. We're here, we're a state, but we're aspirational. We want to compete with subnational. We want to be the subnational that everybody's looking to. Singapore, Malaysia, countries have stood at this point we're standing today and made those decisions, and somehow they've been able to work it to get to where they want to go. We have so many agendas. I remember growing up, Vision 2020, 20-point agenda, housing for all by the year 2010. So many things that I've heard in my time. And most of these things, I don't know how many of them we actually achieved, but we are good in preparing. And it's not far-fetched. Something is wrong somewhere. Most of the time, we sit down and do these things and do not take the people who want to do it for into consideration. We do not even call them to converse. I will see somewhere, I think everybody needs light for all by the year 2025. But I didn't ask, what are the issues? Is it realistic? What kind of lights? How will it be calculated? What is for all? Is it 75%? Is it 60%? Is it 100%? We don't do those things, we just make this statement, do some grandiose engagement, and then we do the work. We keep the paper somewhere. Even the people who have a disconnect, they don't know that I have a responsibility to make that available for people by this time. So all these kind of things are things that are happening. And it's no different for master plans. This is not the first master plan we're doing for Edo State. It's the first for Edo, but not the first for Midwest, Bendel, now Edo. And we have been inside of all these master plans. And the master plan is actually a plan that is a master sheet of all the plans we want to do. Most times it affects our economy and our infrastructure, because it's the infrastructure that will take us to where we want to go economically. Businesses will follow where the infrastructure is, where the enabling environment is, where land titling is easy. That is where businesses will go. Anywhere it is making it difficult, they will not go there. Where the tax is not choking anybody, that is where businesses will go. So if this plan that you have does not address these issues, then it's going to be difficult for you to get to the Edo of your dream. What we're doing now is we've gone around, we've done the data gathering, stakeholders engagement, talking to people, looking at what is happening in our region, where we want to go to, and then after doing the plans, we've gone again to get we are finished, we took feedback, now we're ready to launch it. And the law requires that we do a viewing. Let people come and see. After we're doing the launch on the 27th of August, at the day that Edo will be 33 years. And this is symbolic. As you are aware, the generation is between 25 and 30 years. Normally, from the time a child is born to when the child becomes an independent adult, will be about 25 years. By 30 years, the child has decided, I don't marry, I would have had a child, I got married. Maybe I have a child, maybe if I'm lucky. Then maybe I'm renting off, who started to make plans. you will be at that point of settlement. Very rarely will you see a 30-year-old man or woman in their parents' house. It's very rare. If they are there, there's something. Maybe they are bourgeois and they have estate and they share their houses to all their children to live together. Or the parents are very ill, so they're living with the parents. But by 30 years, if your child is still following you about something is wrong somewhere. So a generation is 30 years. Edo State has done one generation. We turned 30 just around COVID. So we couldn't do a lot about that. So now, our next generation has started. This master plan started from 2023 to 2053. And 2023 is totally conscious where it is 2023. We could have said 2024 when we have launched it. No. We started implementing the master plan last year. Because we want you to have confidence in this master plan. That it is a living document and we're already implementing. No one will tell you, okay, if we're implementing it now, our tenure ends in November. So we only have 3 months. We are putting a plan together that we only participated in 3 months and we're giving it to somebody. Does that make sense? It doesn't. So we started implementing from when they launched the socio-economic master plan. We started implementing while we were designing this master plan. Because it's a living document. We want you to see that we are doing what we say we will do. So within our master plan, normally they'll say master plan is short term, medium, and long term. This master plan has quick wins, short term, medium, and long term, so that you can have confidence in the system. So what Mr. Governor is thinking about now is, okay, on the 27th, I want the master plan to be what we are celebrating this year. That's all. We have other program, let it be that it is the master, because that is the biggest legacy I want to leave behind. Everything that I've done is because of this master plan. So what I want to do that is to hand it over to our next generation symbolically. To say you have started another 30 years, don't waste it. Because at a time there will be no excuse. There's an age you get to. I always used to tell my children, there is a day I will not be responsible for you. Anything you do, you will be totally responsible. So the day comes when you must draw back and allow them to take responsibility for whatever actions that they take. And that is the same thing. We are now entering, if whatever mistakes we made in the last 30 years, we might be forgiven. But when we get to 60, we are not 80, 90, who's going to forgive you? Nobody. Because there is a seed time, there is harvest time. So, because of that, let us be conscious that 30 years has passed in the aspect as a Edo State. We're no longer a young state. We have in the affairs of things, but in the affairs of life, we're actually maturing. So what do we want in our environment? What does that mean?
For the event, the display documentary will show the key parts of the master plan for where Governor Godwin Obaseki for his speech can talk say he wan leave behind better legacy through the master plan. Say the goal of the plan now to improve the state and can call on stakeholders support to make sure say the plan go become law.
But I want to thank all of them today. So when I come out, when I come here with him, we want to tell them about this master plan when I want to live for them, for those states as I go. Today, for Nigeria, and for those states in particular, everything chaka. People see, let's say, private house. One day, it will be school. Another day, it will be hospital. Another day, it will be restaurant. When I come ask you and say I want to be governor, I tell you and say one of the things what I will do, they say, before I leave, I will try my best to organize the road.
Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Physical Planning, Housing, Urban and Regional Development, Engineer Edo State na contrary salute to the state government for starting the master plan, said the plan aimed now to make Edo State one of the best places with improved services and infrastructure.
For me, it's very simple. Mr. Governor wants Edo State to be the destination of pride, whereby people will want to come and live in Edo State. People will want to come and work in Edo State. People will want to thrive in Edo State. So if that vision has been set up by Mr. Governor, what does it mean for us in terms of the physical environment? For us to thrive, it therefore means all services that you would normally get in any comparable state or subnational needs to be present. What are those services? We're talking of power. If you look somewhere around here, power and energy, you need power. Not so, we need water. We need agriculture, we need food security. More importantly, you need security, public security. Because without security, you're not going, nothing can work. If we're in a state of war now, I'm sure not, we can't even sit down here. So those basically are the things which we need to be able to have that societal requirements. We cannot afford not to implement this plan. Otherwise, our children and our children's children will certainly blame us. And we don't want that to happen.
Commissioner for Environmental Sustainability Joshua Mokodion come stress the importance of environmental sustainability and proper waste management. Say waste fits onto wealth if it dey managed well, and come also highlight the master plan's provision for environmental issues.
Mr. Obaseki, to my mind, is not from this level at all, because for him to be able to resuscitate so many things that were in play long time ago, maybe a year or whatever, and realizing that there's need for us to have such schemes like the water storm projects like we have right now across the city is something that is unprecedented. So Benin Master Plan caters for that, and hopefully across within the region, I mean the Edo region now, the Edo regional plan is able to cater for that, secretarial district to local governments and even communities. Just like the local PSA. I remember way back after my graduation, way back in the early 90s, after graduating from the School of Architecture, and my interest was commerce, even though I studied architecture. And somehow I needed to go to the village to procure some things. And the village I went to was Amedioke and Uromi. And when I got to that village, I saw what it was. I was shocked. When I saw their layouts, I saw their setbacks, I saw the cleanliness of their village and everything. I told myself, this is what architecture students should come and look at. And that is where I felt at the time that even our curriculum should have done better than we're being taught in school. I mean, the man was just there showing me what I had learned in school. What setbacks is about, how an environment should be clean, how rules should be laid and all of that. So that's culturally we had, but nobody had been able to put it together to let the people know that this is what is there. And this is exactly what the Edo Regional Plan is doing, to ensure that all those cultural beliefs that we understand within ourselves comes to play. And again, yes, another very important one I may all know, the waste management board. Waste management is the greatest challenge we have across cities, all over the world actually. It's not peculiar to Edo or Nigeria. But how you manage it is the key thing, because whether you like it or not, for every economic activity, you must have waste generation. So the issue now will be, how do you manage those waste that that comes out of those businesses or homes and all of that. And that's basically the reason why we have a board in Edo called Edo State Waste Management Board. Their responsibility is to manage their waste and ensure that things are done rightly. And again, beyond that, for instance, in Edo Waste Management Board right now, we think that a scheme is coming up now where we'll be looking at how to create, how to do things in a manner that we can, even as a matter of fact, transform waste to wealth. So, in trying to achieve all of that, you see that the Benin Master Plan Regional Plan will attempt to let people understand that, as much as you are, generating this waste and you think it's waste, it's actually wealth. So, the master plan is speaking to that in such a way that at the end of it, we're going to have a proper recycling system that allows us to, whatever waste to generate, whether it's waste from the hospitals, whether from households, whether from businesses, whether from industries, we are able to harness them in a manner that they become very critical to even our own economic survival, whether in terms of economics, whether in terms of energy, whether in terms of so many fronts. You see that the attraction for waste this time will be something that will be very critical to Edo residents, and I'm sure every Edo resident would want to participate because there's practically no one that doesn't produce waste in Edo.
In response to questions about mining, Commissioner Risoke Omo concluded the state's plan for mining extractive zones and the strategy to attract mining industries, while the Permanent Secretary for Physical Planning, Engineer Ejo Osikena, and Commissioner for Social Development and Gender Issues, Christabel Omo Eku, come encourage professionals and businesses to join the development of the master plan, support the plan, especially as it gets focused on improving conditions for the less privileged.
For mining, I mentioned just a little bit, which is the laterite mining, that a lot of people do not even understand that laterite is mining. You understand? Laterite is borrowed sand. Is the, I think it's the biggest mining that we have in Edo now that has a consequence on our environment. Because it is regulated at the federal, licenses are given at the federal. Somebody will get a license that Edo State is not aware. God has sent us a copy. You don't get a copy. You just see somebody come to the back of your house and start with excavator to remove the sand. So what we've done, if you look at the dimension to show where our extractive zones in Edo State is, most of it, as far as the other solid mineral mining is concerned, is more concentrated in the northern part of Edo. Okay? Gibson, limestone, all kinds of mining. Our colleague in mining has shown us so many things that they don't have that I did not even know existed. And that is where the money is. But it must be done with consideration to the environment. And it must be done in an orderly manner. So what we are trying to do here is also to look for a collaboration. Look at many states now, they have banned borrowing. You can have your license, but you won't do it in this state too. You can hold it, but you will not do it here. So that we can get us, we need to talk with federal government what works. The other day we went to one of our sites with Mr. Kofu. As we're going on, let's look at the other side, we saw them. They had opened a crater. Massive. How did this happen? The man said he had a license. From where? And this is what, normally, when you even borrow, there's a way you must stabilize, there's a way they do the cutting, so that the earth will not move. But they're not doing that. And you find out that once they go, they just, I saw the guy, he just used his the pocket, he just hit the thing like this and drag it. Everything will just collapse. And when they finish, they leave it like that. Once rain comes, it takes that place that is not stable. And that's where you see the erosion. That's what is happening. You're calling government, you're calling. Sometimes there's a level of ignorance to it. You okay? Because most of this is there's supposed to be a symbiotic arrangement. So that when this thing is properly structured that we are recommending, we're not saying you shouldn't borrow. But we know that these are the areas you can borrow because you can now use that as dump sites. So there's a recycling process going on. The places that we can now create our own man-made lakes. You understand? It's not, the Jabi Lake in Abuja is actually man-made. To an extent, we lose part of it consciously knowing that we need to pass water through here to help our drains. And a lot of them, most golf courses have this man-made lakes. They design it into the plan to make sure that this place we have already removed all this sand, we can use it for something. State government having any hand in it because they have already gotten license. Also comes to our oil, our energy. It's the same thing that's going on. So this is an area that we need to engage a lot with the ministries at the federal level and the federal government, because some of these are on their exclusive list. You cannot touch them, you cannot say anything, but you suffer the consequences. So we have said here, we have to encourage trade and collaboration and regional projects. So as you are doing this, what is it in need for the area? What are they benefiting? We must foster networking and knowledge sharing, investment in skills development and labor mobility so that we can continue to provide employment for our people in the process of doing this. And then, the ones that are in commercial quantities, how do we do it in such a way? The laws came last week, and Tesco were considering what to do with mining. It was a major matter because of the impact on our environment.
One of the requirements for us to have that plan in place is that we must do this viewing. must have a public viewing of the master plan, so that if you have any challenge, if you feel that you have a vehement disagreement with any part of the plan, you bring it up, it will be looked at it on its merits. And we can change the plan. The plan generally speaks now to neighborhoods. We don't want a situation where a school child who is living in a particular area, maybe because he thinks that the child, maybe the parents of the child think that, oh, Itoha is very good, whereas the child is living at the Kenwa Road. That's not sustainable. So we want a situation where we have similar facilities. That's why we talk of the Edo State Master Plan aims at being serviced. It must be a service environment, which means you need to go to the market. You shouldn't go more than maybe 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers in your neighborhood to get a market. You want to go to school, your children can go to school by trekking. They don't need to enter a car, except they just want to show off the fact that, oh, my parents are affluent. You understand? You want to go to the hospital. The hospital should not be more than 10-15 minutes away from your house. So that's the way we have structured the entire plan, whether the Benin City Master Plan or the Edo State Regional Plan. That's the way we have structured it, basically. So all those things, those concerns that you have, take time, go through the document. Like I said, you can scan the QR code, go to the specific section which is of concern to you, and you will have the information that has been provided, either for the regional plan or for the Benin City Master Plan.
Look at these areas that are being, the master plan is taking cognizance of: public security, transportation, power. These are the things that the youth of nowadays want and are looking for in their hometown. I was one of them many years ago. So I left Benin in search of greener pastures, went to the big cities, and there I saw things differently. I saw that the roads were wider and bigger. I saw that to some extent there was light, there was security, much more than what we had. You know, here they say we have red sand, red roof in Edo State. It's the truth. I'm Benin, fully Benin. And I know that this story applies to many of us that left because there was really nothing to look forward to. There was no structure. And so today, Governor Obaseki brings a master plan and says, we want to have a plan so that for years to come, this will exist, so that people will no longer leave Edo. For me, it was more like, why am I somewhere else contributing to another society when I have a state that we needed to work on? So ladies and gentlemen, everything you see here, I'm just here to tell you that we all need to buy in. The PS has explained everything that we need to know. Your role as a town planner, your role as a developer, contractor, whatever, state surveyor, even my role as the permanent secretary of Ministry of Youth and Social Development and Gender Issues. We are here to address those issues that affect vulnerable groups. The PWDs, that's persons with disabilities, they need their own homes. They need secretariats where they can come together. It's in the master plan. The elderly persons that most of us don't take care of, the master plan takes care of them in terms of setting up places at the senatorial districts where we can have elderly people's homes. We all can't be with our parents all through their lifetime, isn't it? So we need them to have a place where that is comfortable for them so that they too can live their old age in peace, in tranquility. That's what the master plan brings to you. You're looking for better schools. For every 5 minutes walk or 10 minutes walk, there should be a good school. In the UK, they tell you to put your children in schools within your county. In the US, they'll call it county. So what are we saying? It's the same thing in Edo State. So this master plan brings to you those things that developed countries have, and we should not deviate from it. With the master plan will come structure. With the master plan will come order, so that your neighbor is not building houses, or even you, me, we are not building our houses haphazardly. My street is a residential street, but suddenly a bakery springs up. Suddenly a hotel is about being built. No, we don't want those things anymore. The master plan brings what? Structure. So it's for all of us. It's for you as a Benin person. It's for me too. So I'm here to just tell you that there will be no more running away from Edo State, because we have a plan that we must actualize.
Stakeholders and invitees show plenty excitement for the initiative and come here and say them they expect positive results if the plan they implemented well. They come also praise the state government and say them they hopeful say if the master plan they sustain, Edo State go get better future.
We came here for this interactive section to further digest the input of the Edo State's master plan that is going to be launched on the 27th of August. Now, we have seen that this master plan has been all embracing. In fact, it has, from the explanation, we have been told that it has captured even the various segments of the residential areas. It is going to bring up developments such as having pipe-borne water in our neighborhood. For example, you can find out now that in various residential houses, you have individual boreholes, and that's not what should be. Luckily, the master plan that is coming up, being put in place by this administration, is to address that anomaly. That is, from what the moderator has told us, we're going to have neighborhood water distribution network, from one neighborhood to the other, and that reduces cost on the part of the settlers, the EDGs, and there again it brings harmony. Then the roads networks, for example, every individual ought to have known that there is, in fact, that there is dimension for every size of road. They also showed it to us, the arterial roads, the various adjoining roads and all that. And then again, you also we want to also let our people know there should be decency in what we do. We should have patience. The average individual will just wake up. You have an appointment by 11 o'clock. You'll be leaving your house by 1 o'clock. And as such, you go and cause accident on the road. Make the society look chaos. That shouldn't be. We should have that individual restaurant to do things in an orderly manner. And that's the essence of master plan.
This preparation of the master plan, the city master plan, and the regional development plan are the best things that have actually happened to Edo State. Because these are plans that for a long time has not been done, despite our series of efforts to ensure that the state has updated master plans. Because the one that was done before expired just about almost 10 years ago. So these are plans of reality, plans that have to address the planning issues, development issues, problems that we be having in Edo State. For instance, the master plans looked at land use, different land uses, education, health, residential, industrial, to ensure that there is compatibility in the development of these various projects. They are not mixed up. There is orderliness and coordination in them. These are the things the master plan is being addressed. So that for the next 30 years, we should have a guiding document that will, guide the development of Edo State.
Next 30 years, I think even where they are going, I should see Edo competing for this and better.
It's a wonderful innovation. I am really glad to be here. What the commissioner is doing is really commendable. In conjunction with the Edo State government, they have come up with this beautiful master plan, which, if well implemented, is going to take Edo State to a place of its dream.
Make una not forget say, as we see am, na so we dey talk am. We not dey take blame. From Benin City, Ekata Ojisoli, TMC TV News.